Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about The Flash, episode 303, titled Magenta, which premiered Tuesday, October 18th, 2016 on the CW. Guys, quick reminder of my 3 rules. 1, I'm recording this same night that I'm watching the episode. For me right now, it's been about an hour and a half since the episode has finished for me. So there is that. 2nd, I'm recording my thoughts and opinions that are my own, and before I get any outside influences from anyone else. So this is genuine first impression of the episode. 3rd, I'm not making this for any money. So this is just for fun, for me to look back on later on, and to kind of generate any conversations, or to kind of get my thoughts out there so that someone may be able to get me some answers about something, or as to where I can find something. So with that said, let me start with the 10-minute clock. And let's begin. So something new that we learned in this episode. So this episode, West Allen fans will be excited to see Barry and Iris actually go on their first date together. Unfortunately, it flops because they make this no flash rule. Kind of really hard since that is kind of who Barry is. But good thing is, when they go on their second date at the end of the episode, they've come to an understanding that they have to embrace this new versions of themselves. This new version being that Barry is the Flash. The speed is now part of him. He's changed because of that. And Iris is a different person now because she's responding to the fact that Barry has this super speed ability. So before, with their first date, they were kind of trying to be the people they were before Barry got hit with the 9-month coma. But no. So thankfully they decided to embrace the fact that he's the Flash and she knows about it and not to shy away from it. So that is good. Looks like things are on a good path for West Allen for sure. Moving on though. This episode marks the return of Dr. Wells and Jesse from Earth 2. And we actually get confirmation that they remember the original timeline that we know of from season 1 and season 2. We actually see Dr. Wells making comments about how Barry had changed the timeline because now only those 3 know what originally happened, while everything else around them is completely changed. One of those changes, not because of Flashpoint though, is because Jessie now has a speed. She is a speedster. Apparently it happened a few days ago. But they've come over to kind of try to help her figure out what happened. And secret mission from Dr. Wells, he wants the Flash team to kind of talk Jesse out of being a hero, which is where the struggle between father and daughter comes in, to the point where later on, Dr. Wells kind of makes the exception that this is who she is now. He has to embrace and let her go be this person she is meant to be. And if that's a speedster, then okay, he's going to support her for that. And we see them kind of be on the same page, and we actually see him giving her her new speedster suit, I guess you could say it. So there is that. But with the mark of Jesse having speed, we see Wally really disappointed in the fact that he does not have speed, because they're both hit by the same dark matter wave. Version 2 of it. She got the speed, he didn't. He kind of wants that speed because he thinks that having speed will enable him to help people like he hopes for. Everyone's trying to tell him that if it hasn't happened yet, it probably won't happen. Don't fixate on it. He's not listening to it. He's so desperate to the point that once he found out how Jessie tapped into her speed, he tried to replicate that scenario and put his own life in danger. So that didn't really go so well for him though. But there's that. So now we got to worry about Wally doing dangerous stuff, trying to get what he thinks should be his speed. I would laugh like crazy if he ended up not getting speed as a power, even though chances are he will. I would just laugh if that was a whole new other twist right there. Anyways, we also, with their return, we also get the introduction to the Speed Lab, apparently. Something brand new, something Dr. Wells, Jesse, and Barry definitely haven't stepped foot in, but everyone else kind of gives Barry a funny look, saying, why does it look like you've never been here before? So it was kind of interesting what they created, and it's kind of like their testing facility. It's kind of like they repurposed what the pipeline would have been like. I think, is the pipeline even still there? I don't even know. So there's that. So based on the episode, though, specifically, we are introduced to Frankie, who turns out to be a metahuman by the name of Magenta. And unfortunately for Frankie, every time she blacks out, that is when Magenta takes control. And you get her controlling the metal around her. If you want to think of it, it's kind of like with Trajectory. How kind of like a really separate alter ego type thing. Not the fact that she's wearing a mask and pretending to be someone else. She was literally someone else when she was the scientist versus the crazy speedster. And now we got the same thing with Frankie and Magenta. Frankie is an abused foster kid. Who's always been trying to fight this inner voice inside of her, but Magenta, because of Alchemy's interference, Alchemy pretty much gave Magenta power to overpower Frankie. So we definitely see a struggle within this young lady. And through that, through Frankie, Julian was able to confirm, I guess you can say, what the connecting link between all these metahuman husks and Edward Claris, and now Frankie. So apparently there was a commonality between all of them that he was able to confirm with Frankie. So there's that. And so anyways, back to Frankie, though. Eventually Barry manages to talk her down and tries to reason with her why she needs to fight the darkness within her, why she needs to fight Magenta and hold her off, while also giving her an opportunity for a better life. They've actually placed her in a better foster home down in Keystone. So maybe we'll see Magenta again, or not. Hopefully not. Maybe we'll see Frankie again later on. But I guess we'll have to wait and see where that. Episode ends with Joe informing Barry and Julian of Edward Claris's death. So in the previous episode, the last scene was of Edward Claris being attacked in his cell. His punishment by alchemy, turns out he was actually killed. Unclear of what it was in the video. They're calling it some invisible force, but Barry and Joe think it has to do with alchemy. Although they can't say it with Julian kind of in the room. They can't talk freely like that. So anyways, what was the most shocking moment of the episode? Surprisingly enough, I could not pinpoint one. I really couldn't. I don't know why. It's blanking me after an hour and a half of seeing the episode. I don't know why. Maybe it was the part that Wally tried to endanger his own life to get his speed back. That's probably surprising in itself. But it wasn't enough of like a shock factor of like, oh my god, that can't happen, oh my god. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on to top 3 favorite moments. My all-time favorite for this episode has to be Dr. Wells' return. Just having him back was just fantastic. I missed him. And there's many key moments with him that I really liked. First one has to be with him and Barry. I absolutely love it every time Dr. Wells always made the comments about Barry changing the timeline, how like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, or he's always making like little comments about how like, oh, so you changed that too, or this happened because you did that. It was always because he always told Barry in season 2 that you don't mess with the timeline, you shouldn't go messing up stuff you don't understand. So it's great to see that kind of a lecturing vibe between the two. And also later on, it was great to see them connecting on similar issues with how they're always trying to fix something only to have it turn out to be worse for them in the end or something like that. I just really like how they connected as well, though. So there is that. Another point for Dr. Wells has to go with him and Jesse. Not only the struggle between the two of them and how they're trying to figure out how to adjust to Jesse having speed, with him not wanting her to be in harm's way, but her wanting to do good with her speed. It was great to see the struggle, as well as great to see them come together at the very end and have him actually accept that this is something she wants to do, and he's going to support her for that and help her become the best speedster that she could be, to kind of minimize her being in danger, I guess you can say. So it was just really great how he was always telling her that you're my hero, I'll always love you, I'll always be worried for you and stuff like that. I really like that quote as well. Another Wells moment, I'll make it a solo moment, was when he was explaining to Caitlin and Siska why exactly he wanted them to talk Jesse out of being a superhero. It was just all the massive hand gestures, his over exaggerations of like, oh, this is why it has to be, you're not going to understand. It's like he was all over the place. I found it really hilarious because we usually don't see Dr. Wells like that. And I thought it was pretty funny. So there's that. Second favorite moment of the episode has to be Barry and Julian. I said it in the previous episode. I don't know why, but I just really like that thick tension between them. You can really tell they do not like each other. And then even with Barry, when Julian's giving him like sarcastic comments and sass and saying, well, I'm doing this because I must have something. Like making it sound, there's a time, making it seem like Barry really has no idea what he's talking about. And then Barry's just like, oh my God, I have to be literal in what I asked this guy. And you see the eye roll and everything. It's funny to see. And I don't know why I like it. It's just, I don't know. Will they ever become friends? I have absolutely no clue. Will that tension ever ease up between them? It will be fun to see, for sure. But when the Flash saved Julian from that falling piece of metal, he did not look pleased or thankful or impressed. So I'm just wondering, is it just because he's a metahuman as well that he's got issues with, or I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out later on. Another favorite moment, I'll say number 3, would be Jessie actually helping Barry out in the end. She got to use her speed. We finally got to see her use it. Is she as fast as Barry? I hope not. That's really going to bug me for someone who just got their speed like 3 days ago, and he turns out to be it turns out that Jessie is faster than Barry. I'm going to be really mad about that because it took Barry just over 2 years to get to the level he's at, and then to have someone surpass that in after 3 days of only having it. I got into that last video. It's just, I hope that's not it. Maybe she's progressing at a slightly faster rate than Barry did. I don't know. But I did like the fact that she was able to help Barry and she was able to be successful in doing that too. So there's that. Fourth favorite moment was just all the different cool changes that we got to see with this timeline. Like the speed lab, that was a cool addition as well. Also, we got to learn about the invention of the panic button that the team has. It's kind of like a panic alarm was set on everybody's phones in case it was ever needed. Barry even commented on the fact that, I guess that's one good thing that came out of changing the timeline. So I'm really glad that they included that. Kind of wondering why they never did that before. So there's that. Moving on to top 3 Peach moments. I only have the one. It's a really big one. It's the fact that Wally purposefully put himself in danger just for a shot to get his speed back. I mean, there's no guarantees that he was going to get the speed if he did manage to have that split-second moment before getting hit by a car and then have it just jumpstart within it. There's no chance of that. Yet he didn't care. He is so impulsive and so focused on one thing that he doesn't care whatever happens to him, because in his mind it's like, oh, this is how I'm going to get my speed, and then it's not going to matter if I get hit because I have super healing and all that. It's just, no, it really bugged me. And at this point, if this is the Wally that we are going to get, this is the Wally that we're going to get who then gets his speed, I really don't think we need an impulsive speedster. That just spells trouble right there. So I'll leave it at that. What moment will I remember most as I look back on this episode? The return of the Wells family from Earth 2. I absolutely love it. So there's that. Random questions time. What happened to the notion that clothes catch on fire when running with super speed? I mean, it was covered in season 1, especially in the first episode with Barry running to Star City and then having his clothes on fire. And then again in 104 when he carried Felicity along and her shirt caught on fire. So there's that. Just wondering why that was not covered when Jessie was running around in her regular clothes. Just saying. Next question. Is Wally going to purposefully search out Alchemy so he could get his speed in the same way the Rival and Magenta got their speeds? I hope not, but it's kind of looking that way. And next question. Is it possible that the common element that Julian found within the Husk, Edward, Clarice, and Frankie, is it possible that it's a piece of Alchemy himself? And if that's the case, could he use that to trace who the identity of Alchemy is? Is Alchemy even an actual person? I have no clue. If you have any thoughts or answers for that, let me know in the comments down below. I'd definitely like to hear theories for that. And last question. Are Dr. Wells and Jessie here to stay? Well, that's just going to answer itself in my prediction. So moving on to that, based off the promo for 304, we do see Mirror Master trapping Barry inside a mirror, from the looks of it anyways. So that's going to be interesting. And it does look like Dr. Wells and Jessie are still with the Flash team, so that's always good. Based off the synopsis for the next episode, it looks like Barry continues to train Jessie. And it seems like Captain Cold returns with a new group of rogues, like Mirror Master and the Top. Predictions in general, I think we're going to see Jessie in her new suit, teaming up with Barry, and I hope it's in the next episode, because that little sneak peek of the suit in the box was just too much of a teaser. I want to know what it looks like. And if it's anything to be like the Trajectory Speedster suit. I'm wondering about that too, just with a different color scheme. Next prediction, I think Wally is going to try to find Alchemy behind everybody's backs. And then by the time anyone finds out, it's going to be too late, and he's already made contact with Alchemy. And not only will he get his speed back, but he's going to be stuck with Alchemy's voice and being stuck with that connection with him somehow. Because I think he has to have some type of hold on them to some point. No? I don't know. New question, though, came out from the synopsis. How is Captain Cold still alive? Or did this new timeline number 3 as we're calling it, did it not have Captain Cold join the Legends team? And if that's the case, how does that affect or not affect what's actually happened on Legends of Tomorrow? I mean, is he still dead over there? Or is I don't know, I'm confused right now. I'm great that he's technically still alive, but then what does that mean for Legends? I have no clue. Please, if you have answers, let me know in the comments down below. And that's about it, guys. So what did you guys think about the episode? What did you like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know again. Comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories about what's to come. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Also, check out my Tumblr page, guys. Follow me there. Link for that is down below. I reblog promos, GIFs, synopses, web clips, quotes, all of that. They're all in one spot, so go check it out there. Also, check out my WordPress account. It links all my accounts through there, so you'll be connected anyway. And yeah, that's about it. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel wishing you all a great day, great week everywhere. Bye for now.